What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So we're on the eve of E3 2019. We are counting down the hours pretty much. This is a big time of the year. It's a big time of the year for games. We get a lot of new stuff. We get a lot of, it's kind of like if you want to get hyped about it, you can get hyped about it. If you want to be cynical about it, you can be cynical about it. I just love just the show of it all. People kind of putting hopes into something and then getting dashed, and like you got the cringe going in places, and then the shocks, and then like the unexpected and stuff. I love that part. I love the show of it all. I love the how gaming gets put like on center stage for the world to see. It's a very very cool thing. A very very cool thing. Um, we're gonna go through each conference, sort of like some hopes and dreams stuff, what we think's gonna be there, what we hope's gonna be there, stuff like that, and what our like the things I'm really looking forward to throughout E3 this year, and like how maybe E3 is gonna be a little bit different with some with Sony not being there and stuff, and what they might do in response to things, and we'll get into that stuff too maybe. Right. So first up, for me, earlier in the morning, but for most of y'all, probably in the afternoon, is Microsoft. Microsoft's kicking it off. This will probably be the biggest of all the conferences. They've probably got the most stuff to show. Apparently they've got some hardware stuff to show. They've got things that they really want to kick off. They got all those new studios. Apparently they've got something like 14 first-party titles coming from all of those studios that they've got, along with all their cross-platform things as well. They are definitely they're in the pole position at the moment. They really are, is in terms of like how well they could do through E3, if that's even a thing. Obviously, the big thing with Microsoft will be CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk. Pretty much everyone's talking about how there'll be trailer stuff, obviously, more in-depth look at it, and probably a release date. I think everyone is really hankering for that release date. Now, I am of a firm believer that they're hoping to get into the new generation of consoles whenever that comes out within the next, I think probably within the next year and a half. Um, that's where I'm kind of seeing it, because CD Projekt Red aren't the type to want to rush games out into a situation where it's not going to thrive. They've got everything going for them. A lot of people they had the blind faith for CD Projekt Red. They have been waiting for this game for years, and I think they would, if they said like, "Hey, we're going to release it next year," they'll probably be okay with it. People will be disappointed. People will be like, "Oh man, I was kind of hoping it was this year," but I do kind of think that they would like to be on a new gen console personally. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't know for sure. I haven't heard any rumors to counter that. It's just my personal opinion. I think this type of game would suit being on like the next generation of consoles. For that one thing, PC wise, hey, PC wise, we're good. We can have it right now. We're good. But console wise, where majority of gamers are, that will be a thing. That would be something I think they will look at. I I definitely I definitely am looking forward to this. I really am. Like the first things of Cyberpunk we saw. I remember I think they put the gameplay trailers out from the E3 last year, about a month or two afterwards, and I was in Hawaii. I did a video from Hawaii and I was excited about it. I love how like it's gonna be like we create our own characters and stuff and all this. It's very very cool. So that's definitely one of my highlights for the entire E3 is going to be Cyberpunk for sure. It'll be interesting to see where they put it in the show. I think it will be like the last thing, like they did last time, because they'll want you to stay for the entire thing, and if they have that carrot on a stick at the end, you're going to be there. So fair enough on that one. Next big thing will probably be Halo Infinite. That is sort of like the next step in Halo. Um, I am an old school Halo fan. I am. I was not much of a multiplayer fan, but I loved the story of Halo. Um, I think I stopped playing around Halo 4. It just the story kind of went meh for me after that, and I kind of moved on. I think from the whole Halo experience and stuff. So I'm hoping they're going to show me something new. I really am. I'm hoping they're going to show me something new. This could be linked in with Microsoft's new console that they're sort of hinting at. I would not be surprised in that sense. Because I think this is running on their new engine as well, if I remember from last E3. So I am somewhat excited for Halo. I'm interested to see if this is coming out on PC too, especially since the Halo Master Chief Edition is coming out, and that'll probably be a thing as well on PC, because they've also got the sort of like PC version of the Games Pass, but there's already a Games Pass that you can do stuff on PC with. So, but I think it's a more dedicated PC one. I think that's going to get tied in with that a lot. I'm actually kind of excited for Halo. I want them to kind of win me back a little bit. You know, like I know like the multiplayer stuff is always big in those games and stuff, and I get that part, but I'm not a multiplayer shooter type of dude. I'm not that. I would love to see a really cool story out of them. I really would. But that's just my thing. That's my thing. I love story stuff. So yeah, Halo's definitely a thing. Gears of War. I've never been a Gears of War guy. When Gears of War was coming out, I was more into Halo and stuff. So I don't think I've ever played a Gears of War game. So Gears of War 5 has not really got anything for me. I know a lot of people are probably excited for it. I'm thinking they did show a trailer for it last time, or was that before? One or the other. I lose track on that one. But yeah. New Forza. There will be there's always a Forza game depending on what one's up. I guess Horizon's normal Forza. I have no idea. There'll be a car. It'll be interesting to see how they show off that car. They normally show like a brand new car that's never been seen, like a Porsche or whatever. Whoever wants to put their car on the stage. I do loved when I think the car rose out of the stage and stuff, and the guy like is falling all over and stuff. It's car porn pretty much. It's car porn. Like if you're into that stuff, that's cool. I'm not much of a Forza player. I'm not much of, honestly, I used to be like really into car games. Like I used to play like all the like Formula 1 games. I used to play all the Need for Speed games and stuff. That was my thing, but I think I just sort of grew out of that essentially. And I mean, Forza is a great way to show off how like awesome you can do graphics. That's what car games are great at doing. Is like that's why there's always a Forza, there's always a Gran Turismo, there's always something on console releases to show how amazing looking games can look. That's pretty much what they're great at doing. But if you're into like driving a badass car, that's cool. Battletoads is gonna be a thing. They showed a brief like trailer last year, so let's see what happens with Battletoads. The new Cuphead DLC, that's a thing too. Wonder if we'll get some more information on that. Cuphead is a very, very good game. Very, very good game. I enjoyed the heck out of playing that game, so I'm interested to see the DLC. The new From Software sort of rumored game with George R.R. Martin, like it's a Norse game. Apparently like something to do with like Great Rune, something like that. I'm interested to see that. Like From Software, they do some pretty cool shit. So that is definitely one that I'm keeping an eye on. Definitely one I'm keeping an eye on. The whole being linked in with George R.R. Martin, I mean, like that's just like you're like working with him on some story stuff. That's pretty much what it is. But like game wise, let's see what it's about. Like if this is like gonna be a more, let's say, more bloody, like maybe a more R-rated God of War, if that's even a thing, like a more sort of like darker God of War, more grim. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. I want to see Norse gods. I want to see Fenrir. I want to see all that shit. So That would be a very, very cool thing. So I wonder how that's going to go. We're also going to get more Star Wars stuff for the Jedi Fallen Order. Apparently, they're showing more from the E3 play thing. They said at the end, like, hey, you want to see more? Check more out at the Microsoft thing. So they're doing the same thing as what they did with Anthem. I wonder how much they're going to show, or is it just going to be another trailer? It's probably just going to be another trailer. We'll see on that one. And then it's this sort of like potentially them showing off the new gen console for Xbox. That's something I'm very interested in. How, like, because I think this will sort of dictate what Sony's response is to E3, like post E3, like how they're going to deal with it. Because I think if Xbox shows their thing, I think that's more inclined for Sony to show theirs. How much of a rush that will be, I'm not sure, because you never know with Sony. Like, they're very much in the driver's seat at the moment, sort of like how well they did with this current gen. But they could, like, if people get excited for the Xbox, that could definitely get Sony going and actually get them involved a little bit earlier than maybe they would have liked. I'm very, 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 very interested to see, like, how this new console is going to look. And, like, how, things that may not be in this console, like, what direction are they going? Like, they went, like, Xbox One, they went for, we're going to be the biggest, fastest, like, best looking, graphic-wise as we can make it above Sony's one. And that still didn't do it. Like, they went all in on hardware, and they forgot about the games. This time, it's going to be interesting to see if they're like, we're going to make it badass, like the console-wise, like as good as consoles can get. But, like, you can see, like, with all this, their stuff that they're, all these studios and stuff that they're collecting, they want the first-party games. They want the stuff being made for their system. The thing I want to know is if a lot of these games are coming onto PC, like through the Windows Store and stuff, what is my reason for buying an Xbox? Because I got no reason at the moment. to buy an Xbox. I got none. Zero. I remember I bought an Xbox One. I think I sold it within like 2 months. There was no need for it. I had a PlayStation 4. Like it was doing fine. So, and then half the games that I wanted that were from them, they were exclusive for Xbox, that came out on PC, so it didn't matter. So I wonder how they're going to handle that. I think they may be like, we'll get the money from the PC guys off the PC, and then we'll try and get the console players. I think that's going to be the thing. We'll just take the hit on them not buying a console. Maybe that's going to be their thing. But I'm just curious about that. Also, one more thing for game-wise, Outer Worlds, the Obsidian game, definitely interested in that one. Definitely interested in that one. That's definitely one on my radar for sure. I'd like to see more of that game. Potentially what Fallout should be. I think that's probably what a lot of people are talking about. But yeah, that's definitely one for them. So I think Microsoft are in a very, very strong position. I think they are. I think they may even have the most pressure on them, to be honest with you. Like, being that they are kind of the biggest show in town for E3, they definitely will want to deliver this time. That doesn't mean that Sony will not make themselves heard. That's going to be I think that's my most interested thing throughout this entire thing. Then after that, we're going to have Bethesda. Bethesda will be very interesting. Obviously, they have the whole Fallout 76 shadow hanging over them. I'm not sure how Rage is gone. And looking at how, and they have no ES6, they have no Starfield. What do you have? Doom, cool. New Doom. I'm cool with that, but ESO stuff, the card game again. Awkwardly talking about 76 probably maybe some Rage stuff. A new thing from Arcane I'm interested in. Like, if it's a new Prey, Maybe it's something to do with Dishonored, maybe a brand new title. I don't know. Like, I'm interested in Arcane, that's for sure. But I don't know. I don't know on that one. Like, Bethesda, I think they're not in a very good position at the moment. They're really not. Like, they have taken a lot of hits. They were definitely, like, last year, like, they were sort of grouped in with EA, Blizzard, and then Bethesda. They were the ones that, like, those studios took major hits. Those publishers took major hits last year. In terms of, the Fallout 76 debacle and all the rest of it. It will be very interesting to see how they approach that 76 issue. Like, how do they come out and say it? Like, and the thing is, they have been very, like, no, they're very proud of 76. It's like, sure, okay, cool. Like, if you're proud of it, awesome. But, like, they're going into, like, microtransaction stuff, and they're doing a lot of things with that game that is not okay. So, I'm very interested, like, just in the awkwardness of Bethesda's thing. Like, I definitely think they may do, like, they did it a few years ago, not last year, but the year before, where they basically, CEO guy came out, talked about some stuff, then they basically went backstage and they pushed play, and that was the presentation. And it was not even really a thing. It was barely a thing. I think this could be that type of year for Bethesda, where they just do not have, like, they have a big after party, because Bethesda stuff, like, after party, I've got friends that went to those things. They have amazing, like, parties around their conference. It's really, really cool. But the conferences can be super up and down. Super up and down. So yeah, I don't have much faith in Bethesda this year. I really don't. I don't think they have much at all. So then we're going to have the PC Gamer Show that is sponsored by Epic. Yeah, Epic. The thing that will be interesting to see, like, how Day 9 kind of handles all that. I think he'll take some funny shots at them. And I think Epic should let them. Like, Epic should be like don't worry, like, that Epic is using the only weapon they really have, which is money. That's what they have. They have money, and that's what they're doing with it. So it will be interesting to see how they handle the whole, like, oh, it's the Epic Game Store thing, and, like, Epic exclusives and stuff. I'm very, very curious about that. But with the PC Gamer Show, it's always like, okay, like, I have no, like obviously we're gonna get, like, Borderlands 3 stuff. Maybe, like, some more Baldur's Gate stuff. Maybe. Then it's like, what else pops up? Like, Satisfactory was one for me. I think it was last year or the year before. And there's been a few there that just, like, they pop up. They're like these, they're not the biggest games in the world, but they're super interesting. And, like, I'm curious about it. I'm very curious about it. So that is, like, they get a whole bunch of games, they show them all off, and you kind of pick your favorite out of it. It's not like big major AAA titles. They still have AAAs coming in. They still do. But there can be some very interesting ones in there. Very, very interesting ones. There can be ones that be like, yeah, no, I'm not playing that. But it's always an interesting conference, that one. Has a little bit of cringe, a little bit of Day 9 has to work a lot sometimes to get stuff out of devs a bit, but it seems to get better and better every year. So I'm very curious to see how this one goes. I really am. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Then next up, we've got Ubisoft. Ubisoft has pretty much come out and said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what's here. So we got the new... so they're going to have Division 2 stuff, obviously. Rainbow Six Siege stuff, obviously. For Honor. The Ghost Recon, Wildlands, like Breakpoint, the new thing and all the rest of it. Apparently, the whole things have been leaked about the new Watch Dogs 3, like Legion. Like, that's going to be a thing. And, like, hacking NPCs and stuff. Like, okay. I mean, I I was not a fan of Watch Dogs 1. I thought it took itself way too seriously. I think Watch Dogs 2, they tried to go very crazy with it. I didn't mind it, but I think they went a little too crazy in places. They need to find like an in-between. They need to find an in-between with that, and hopefully 3 might actually figure itself out. I'm very curious about that one. Ghost Recon, I'm not overly excited for because it looks very much similar to like Division, and like all those games kind of look the same to me. I would rather play freaking the Punisher. Like, I'd rather play his character and have him like voicing all this stuff and that, and do like a single player thing with him as the main character being a bad guy. I want that game. I don't want to be ghosts going up against like wolves. I don't want that. I want going against them. I want to be him with these ghosts coming around trying to get me, and you swat them away. Like, that's what I want. I want that. I don't want to be a soldier again. I've always been a soldier. Like, I'd rather be the bad guy. That would be funny. Well, not funny, but it'd be fun. That'd be cool. Division 2 stuff, I think they'll do like the next expansion thing or whatever they're doing for that. I played for a bit at the start of Division 2. It was alright. It was alright. I got bored of it quite quickly. It's not for me, I think. Like, I tried the first Division, same thing happened for me in Division 2. Yeah, I don't know, I think I'm just over that stuff. Rainbow Six Siege, I've never gone into Siege. But I see the appeal. Like, I've watched good players play, and it is really cool to watch. Super cool to watch. And that is one of the big comebacks of gaming, man. Like, Rainbow Six Siege, when it first came out, was not in a good place. They worked on it, and now it's probably one of the coolest, like, sort of esport type things out there. It's really cool to watch. So I'm interested in, like, some of the stuff there. It's not for me personally, more for me, for the people I watch play that game. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. For Honor, I have not played For Honor in a long time. But I have seen some cool stuff out of it. Again, like, I've watched some pretty cool people play it, and that's probably enough for me. So, be interesting to see if we get any Assassin's Creed stuff. We got them. There is still more Odyssey DLC coming out. The whole Atlantis thing. I think they got one more episode of the Atlantis stuff to come out. I loved Odyssey. I actually really loved Odyssey. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing Cassandra. Cassandra is my bae. She's the only character. Alexios, meh. Cassandra, all day long. That she helped me, like, just play that. Like, she kept me engaged in that game. I like me sort of like just playing her as the character. I loved her. She was great, absolutely fantastic. So I'm interested to see, like, there has like rumors going around about some sort of like Norse sort of Assassin's Creed or something. Man, if we get like we've got God of War at the moment that's been out for a few. If you get the new From Software Norse game, you've already got like Norse games that are already out, and then you get Assassin's Creed going that way. It's like, do we get too many of them? I think Assassin's Creed have got themselves into a good formula. I just hope they don't milk it for all it's worth, and then like they go, oh crap, we got to redo it again. Yeah, I crossing my fingers on that one, that they take the year, next year, bring it out. I think that's probably a good idea. They might just show us like a title card or something. That might be it. And then like anything else for Ubisoft, I mean, you never know with them. They can come out with some crazy shit. Like, they've linked up with Nintendo a few times. I would not be surprised if we get something with that. Skull and Bones, that's been delayed. So I wonder if they show what's going on with that. I do worry about Skull and Bones if they'll miss the boat, and no pun intended, on that one. Like, the whole pirate thing, is it going away? I'm not sure. Like, when Sea of Thieves came out, And they're two very different games, but they will probably get linked in with each other just because they're both pirate games. Sea of Thieves came out, they didn't have very much content with it. I felt like that was the time, they had a certain amount of time before Sea of Thieves started to get content into it to really capitalize on it. I really did. They didn't quite do it, and we're still waiting. So I do wonder about them. Beyond Good and Evil 2, that is not going to be there apparently. That game, I think, is very far off. I think that game's very far off. Like, they had that whole weird thing with whole, like, you want to create art for it, go and do this, and all the rest of it. They did that whole weird thing. But I think that game is very far off. I don't think it's ready to, like, anywhere near close to go. So probably next year on that one. I think probably next year will be their big year. I think that's about it really for Ubisoft. Maybe some other crazy shit they come out with. Apparently they got some Rocket League like game, something. I don't know. Do we need another Rocket League like game? I think Rocket League's kind of got on lockdown, so I guess if you want to try and go up against them, cool. But all right. Then the final one pretty much is Square Enix. I'm not really counting Devolver and stuff. That's their own. Devolver is their own thing. That is their own thing. These are just the main ones. Square Enix. So Square Enix took Sony's time slot. Hopefully they make it a bit bigger than what they usually do, because it's normally quite a small affair with the Square Enix one. We'll see what they do with that. The big things to come for Square Enix is definitely Final Fantasy VII remake stuff. They kind of hinted at that they released that whole sort of like kind of gameplay trailer in a way, just showing little bits here and there, like a bit of a sneak peek. Hopefully they show some real good gameplay of that. I would love to see how they're doing in that sense, and give us some timelines. That would be really nice to see where they're going from there. The Marvel Avengers stuff. I want a Marvel game. Like, I know Spider-Man was fantastic. I want more of that. And a Marvel Avengers game would be amazing. So there's been stuff going around that it could be like something like Destiny or something. I don't know how that would work. I just like to see more on it. Like, it's been like it got hinted at, and then we've not seen about it for years. So this is the time, man. This is the time. Like, everyone's hyped on Marvel at the moment with Endgame and stuff. This is the time to capitalize on that excitement. So hopefully they'll do something there, and give us a bit of a tease on that. Apparently there's going to be some Shadowbringer stuff for Final Fantasy XIV. I am a massive Final Fantasy XIV player. If you look on the channel, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff there. Super hyped for that. That launch is coming up in a couple of weeks, so they'll definitely be doing something there. Also, if you are a fan of 14 and you watch the producer, the letter from the producer stuff, there's going to be one on the Friday, next Friday. So the Friday after E3 pretty much. So they're going to announce some stuff there too. So that's really cool. So we'll probably get maybe a trailer or something. Maybe a little bit of talking about maybe Yoshi P comes out there. But other than that, yeah, I don't think we'll get too much of that. Apparently there's some other Final Fantasy remakes going on. We'll probably get more of that. One game that I'm really just keeping an eye on that caught my eye last year was one of my games that I was like, keeping an eye on you. Babylon's Fall from Platinum Games and Square Enix. That looked hype as shit. It looked really, really cool. I am very interested in that game. I want to see more on that game. Platinum do really, really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. And this one looked badass as hell. If you have not seen that trailer, let's look up Babylon's Fall E3 trailer. It's very, very cool. It's only cinematic stuff. Has a little bit of lore stuff in there too. I loved that. I loved that game. That look at that game. So that's one of my ones to watch. One of my ones to watch on that one. Actually kind of excited for that. I honestly think Square Enix is kind of like the dark horse in this thing. I think they have some stuff there, especially if they come out with really good Final Fantasy VII stuff, really good Marvel stuff. Obviously, personally, for me, some Shadowbringer stuff. Babylon's Fall. Maybe like throw in some out with some Nier stuff. Freaking, Life is Strange. Freaking other Final Fantasy stuff. Kingdom Hearts. All that stuff. Holy cow. Square Enix could claim E3 as its own. It really could. They've got some ammunition there. Just hopefully they kind of know how to use it. And I mean, people are even kind of hinting at maybe like, hey, we're making Final Fantasy 16. We're making that like a title card or something. That could seal the deal. You know how crazy people get for freaking title card trailers? You know how people freak out about them? It's more just a confirmation that they're making it. Who knows? Who knows on that one? But yeah, and then Nintendo. Nintendo's the following day. Nintendo could be anything. Nintendo could just say Pokemon, boom. But they've already done their Pokemon Direct. So I know they have the new Switch, this like more powerful Switch, like Switch like 2.0 or something like that. They'll probably do some more on that. They have the new like CEO guy for Nintendo America, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be strange to not have Reggie there. It's gonna be very strange to not have Reggie there. And I imagine they'll show some more Pokemon things. Last year it was just Smash. Last year it was just all Smash the entire time. Every detail, it was crazy as hell. I'm not into Smash, and it's not my game. It was like, but yeah, it was. I'm very. It'd be interesting to see what they actually show, because they had that whole Pokemon Direct thing. They could show off maybe like a new Zelda or something, maybe. Who knows? But I guarantee it. They got the new Animal Crossing thing. I know a few people that are really excited about that. But I know, like most people just say, Nintendo wins. It's generally how it works. Nintendo wins. And yeah, I mean, this E3 will be very different. It'll be very different. With the lack of Sony, EA did their whole weird thing. I don't really count EA. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a little bit different, but I am very interested to see Sony's response to it all, especially if Microsoft come out with all their details on their console, and then you get Nintendo with all their details on their one, well, not their new one, but like the upgraded version of the Switch, and like people are kind of clamoring for some stuff on Sony's one. Do they come out with like something maybe like next week, after E3, and go, yo, here's our one. Now that we have all the information on Xbox and stuff, like they did that. Remember when they did the whole Xbox One, PlayStation 4 reveal E3? They undercut Xbox One massively, and that was like the first blow, and the blow that knocked Xbox One down, and they did not get up. So I would not be surprised if Sony did something like that. I would not be surprised. But we'll see. We'll see how that all works. E3, man, it's an exciting time of year. I love it. I think it's it's a time where you watch, like, I love watching like restreams and stuff with people that I love watching, and just talking with people about it, and it's just a good time. It's a good time, and I love it all. I think it's a really cool thing. I love the surprises, I think, are the best part. The surprises are the best part. But yeah. Alright, guys, we are going to be all over all this E3 stuff. I will probably do mainly trailer reactions and stuff like that. I'll see if I want to do some like conference wrap-up things. It will mainly just be reactions to it. So I'll probably like film myself like watching it, and then just like with the green screen, and then like we'll have live reactions and stuff, and I'll do some editing and things like that. So that'll probably be how these videos will go. If you are interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button. It's a good way to keep up to date with me. All the stuff will come up as quickly as I can edit it and upload it and stuff. It's gonna be a busy few days. But I love this shit. I love it. It's really cool. But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Bye.